And hello, my fellow nerds. It's Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland. So we're in the middle of Arc 2. Oh, right, I forgot to mention this is the remastered version Steam release. So we're in the middle of Arc 2 right now. So this is basically the second loop around for the story. But and just like the original version, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of differences that we're gonna be noticing. So the two of us look down at the dead body of Century 104. I got one hand over my mouth and am trying my best not to gag. That was one hell of a nasty wallop, Genzo grimaces. Pause. Real clunker. Nerd pause. I mean, that really must have hurt. And another. Just look at the way his brain is squirting up between the cracks of his skull. Genzo, your commentary is not appreciated. Let's be honest, when is it ever? I ignore him and glance instead at our surroundings, my stomach still turning flip-flops. There's no sign of the battalion now. They disappeared somewhere amongst the trees further down the left path. No, that no, that the right not that the right feels any more promising. Follow my gaze, it winds to a pair of crooked trees before disappearing behind an upraised mound of meadow grass. Which way then? I would suggest we don't follow the homicidal rabbits. That's just me. Yeah. Both paths are still empty, and for the life of me, I can't form a clear mental image of what's down either of them. My memories are too scattered and vague. Oh, well, they went left, so I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go to the right anyways. We'll go right then. An excellent choice, mon captain. It's quiet as we walk. A tall cluster of fire-red corridor us in as the river of dirt directs us left and right like the waters of a canyon. Above us, the sky glitters a sunny orange. In our either side, strange flowers of red, purples, and teals dot the grass between the trees. Oh, I forgot to ask. Gives those hands out of his pockets. Hmm? What did you wish for? I blink. Frown. My thoughts go back to that voice. The feeling of emptiness as I fell through the hole. And the confusion. The uncertainty. And maybe even the tiniest twinge of fear? I, I've been noticing that Kara has been using a lot of the word twinge lately. Fear? What am I afraid of? I shake my head to clear the thoughts. Nothing, I finally say. Nothing? I look away, forcing a shrug. I guess I couldn't think of anything. Damn, I guess you got it made, huh? Genzo laughs. I don't respond. I turn the inside of my cheek and glance over at Genzo. I thought of a guy used to him seeing him without his sunglasses, walking like that, looking at me. A part of me is nervous about it. Nervous about what it could do to him, having to go back to our reality after this. Nervous that he might actually want to stay here somehow. I don't know. I can't possibly feel what he's feeling right now, so I have no idea what's going on in his head. Then another part of me feels happy? Being able to look into his eyes, knowing that he sees me? Why would that make me happy? I don't know. What? That he looks like that that he sees what I look like now and that didn't go running for the hills, didn't start treating me differently, still smiles at me? Somehow that smile is it's like that little squeeze that gave my shoulder only a day before. He gave my shoulder a day before. Warm and reassuring. Non-judgmental. We round another corner and this time, the path opens up to a small clearing. An outcropping of rocks overlooks a small pond at the other end, forms its peak flows a miniature waterfall, light reflecting off the steady drizzle. I take a step towards the pond, only to gasp and step back. Wait a minute. This exact pond. I know this pond. Fuck, it's happening again. What is it, Iggs? It's just... That's when I see it. Rabbit soldier coming around the corner. Fuck! I take a step backwards. Then another. I quickly turn my heels and slam right into Genzo. Hopefully when somehow keeps his balance, then his feet twist beneath him. He goes down. The sound of him hitting the ground sends the rabbit's ears skyward. His head jerks in our direction. Who's there? The spear is already at the ready. Shit. Genzo scrubs with the thanks to his feet. Sorry, I sputtered with a frustrated wave of my hands. You apologizing now? With a murder rabbit breathing on our necks? He's got a point. I turn to the rabbit staring straight at us. I swear I see the tip of his spear glint. Genzo grabs my arm and pulls me behind him. The rabbit cocks his head first to the left, then the right. His eye twitches, then widens. You're that fellow the king told us to watch out for. He chuckles, laughs, and licks his lips. I'll get promotion for sure if I bring you in. Fresh meat for weeks, no more of that slop. He readjusts his grip on his spear and charges. Run! I hear Genzo yell a second before his hand finds my shoulder and pushes me away. But even as I stumble backwards, I don't miss the rabbit making a beeline towards Genzo. He's headed straight for him, spear out in front, glinting in the piebald light filtering into the trees. Fuck. Run, pull Genzo out of the way. Push. Why would I push? I remember very distinctly that if I push Genzo out of the way, I'm gonna die. So best thing we can do is just run. Genzo needs to know what he's doing. So as much as it pays me to do so, I put my trust into him and do as he says. I make it about 5 flying leaps away before I glance back, just in time to see Genzo narrowly avoid being skewered by the rabbit's spear. Now he goes careening past him, plunging the head of his spear into a tree instead. Thank fucking God. Just then I turn back to look where I'm going. I gracefully trip over a stone in the middle of the path and hit the dirt. Of all the... But I don't have a chance to finish my self-deprecating thought, because the next moment Genzo has me by the collar, yanking me back to my feet in a hurried huff. You choose now to be a clumsy-ass motherfucker? I stumble after him, weaving a few wide curves before following in step behind him. I didn't choose the clumsy life. The clumsy life chose me, I say between my choked breaths. I see Genzo shake his head in amused disbelief. We go flying down the path, away from the dense outcropping of trees and out along the slowly gurgling river. I'm just about to turn back to check the side of our rabbit friend when Genzo goes skinny to a halt next to me. Falls to my eyes growing 10 times the size of my head. The ground in front of us is no longer, ground. It's soft and lumpy and pink, a giant slab of lopping flesh splayed out across the path, and wide, 20 to 30 feet across. It's a tongue. It's connected to the largest eyeball I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. It's round and wind sitting on the side of the cliff face as though perched atop a throne. At our approach, the oversized pupil swivels to an almost audible rumble, stares straight at us. What the actual fuck? I've been about to say I don't remember this thing being here before. But my head's so jumbled at this point, I can't say for sure what I remembered and what I don't. So instead I just go up and look up at the thing. A burgeoning sense of knowledge of turning my bowels to stone soup. I take back every moment in my prepubescent years where I wished I could get some tongue. I quickly scan our surroundings, looking first at the steep rocks to our left, then the river to our right. Just as I'm studying the intricacies of water patterns, I feel a tug on the hem of my shirt. My head steps down, eyes refocusing themselves to it just in time to take in the sight of a small creature staring up at me. I jerk backwards to cry surprise. What the hell is that thing? Genzo comes up behind me just as I've recovered enough to ponder the same question myself. It's small, only coming out to my knees, but its head is large and puffy and oblong, and bright red, almost like a tomato. You want something, little guy? I ask as I pop a squat. It warbles something incomprehensible, then waggles its tentacle-like arms off to the right. I turn my gaze in the direction it's pointing it to see a neat wooden bridge stretched across the width of the river. A bridge? My brows furrow. Wait a minute. Bridge. Why is the word bridge sticking out like a sore thumb in the deep recesses of my mind? Trying to help us then, are you, little dude? Now it's Genzo's turn to kneel, though he has a lot less height to lose. The creature joggles its arms again with a happy warble. It certainly seems like it wants to help us, though I can't shake the oddity of the bridge. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that when surveying our surroundings earlier. I turn to look at the hulking tongue again. There's a stagnant pool of saliva saturating the dirt in front of it. It's like a gooey eye is still watching us. I clench my hands and it curls a groan. There you are. I spin around, only to see a rabbit at the end of the path, spear pointed right at us. My heart promptly drops in my stomach. Fuck, Genzo takes a step backwards. Even our tiny acquaintance brings his arm up to his mouth in fear. What are we doing, Eggs? I can already see Rabbit going for a charge. I have to make a choice. Now, the bridge or the tongue? The tongue, obviously. There's something wrong about that bridge. Too wrong. In that moment of decision, I choose to go my gut as much as it pains me to do so. Damn it! I groan. To the tongue, to the tongue! What? Genzo squawks, his voice raised about 2 octaves. But there's no time to explain. I grab his sleeve even as he's throwing the creature a pained look. I drag him towards the heaving pink slab. I climb on the top of it just as the sound of racing footsteps fills the air behind us. Immediately, I roll forward to escape the edge of the rabbit's potential grip, plopping down atop the porous mass. Once Genzo is safe next to me, I throw a glance back at the rabbit, glaring at us angrily from the solid ground. He's not following us, I muse. Genzo jabs angrily at his chest. I wouldn't follow us! He has a point. All the more reason for us to get across this thing as quickly as possible. I push myself shakily to my feet and try to take a step. But promptly slip and fall my face first into the pink pulp. Next to me, Genzo is crawling forward on all fours, his face betraying his disgust. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. He pauses, raises a finger in the air. Scratch that. Second most disgusting thing. I shake it away from my hands, fingers sinking into the tongue's flesh. Why do I feel like I don't even want to know? I wince and follow after him, saliva quickly saturating the knees of my jeans. It's slow going. I keep my eyes trained forward as I crawl, trying not to look or think about the viscosity seeping beneath my fingernails. But we're halfway there. Halfway across the vast ocean of pink. We just need to keep moving. It's at that moment the tongue moves. It starts with a little rumble. Then the salmon-colored flesh begins to undulate, giving rise to rippling tremors that send our bodies bobbing. Genzo! I attempt to crawl towards him, just as a veritable amount of flesh rises up from the ground, taking us with it. The fuck? Genzo loses his balance and lands in a splat on his back, his hands to his head. The growing hillock takes us up, higher and higher. Before just suddenly shifting gears and rolling like a wave. The upsurge of flesh ripples, crests, then surges forward, taking us with it. I lose track from up from down, slipping and sliding across the slick surface. And only once it slows to a stop, my body slides limply down the slide of flesh. I notice how close we are to the all-seeing eye. Genzo glides out next to me. I don't even have to look at him. I can practically hear his heart thudding away in his chest. Neither one of us makes a sound as a whirling pupil of eye dilates, focuses, stares straight through us. We can see tiny twitches of movement, just ever so slight, jumping back and forth between us. They make the soft, wet surface of the eye tremble and jump. Quiet. Moisture dribbles down my forehead and cheeks, and past my collar to tickle my spine. Quiet. My hand moves before I can stop it. It slaps down on top of Genzo's seeking out safety and seeking out that feeling that could possibly calm the panic rising up in the back of my throat. I catch Genzo shooting me a look of unsure bewilderment as my fingers dig into his knuckles. Before either of us can do anything, a sudden slow shadow overtakes us. One slab of flesh engulfs both of us at the same time. Oh God. I will never like hearing those sounds. It's just ugh, no. Press into our necks, chest, and faces, squirming and wriggling, and I reach my head to the side with a gas to keep from suffocating. Massive globules of sticky saliva drip onto my head, cling into my curls, drip over my eyes. It oozes and crawls up and down my skin, grinding into my hair, slurping at my ear, my chin, my collarbone. The panic up is rising up again, clawing at my chest. I can't breathe. Can't see. It's in my hair, my eyes, pressing against my mouth. My hand is so tight around Genzo's now I can feel it shaking. That's when Genzo's hand moves. It twists away out of my grip. For a moment I hear my heart freezes with cold dread. Then it twists back, repositioning itself through the stickiest sliminess of saliva, so that I can take my hand properly, fingers intertwining with my own. The dread melts away. The panic twisting my shoulders into knots uncoils itself. I'm breathing properly again. Ugh. Even though the mucus like muck, even through the wriggling leech. Oh god, dude. Honestly, reading some of these descriptions is actually gonna make me close to vomiting. I swear. Oh my god. Oh god. Like I need to turn the sound. I need to turn the sound of my headphones down. I genuinely cannot stand the sounds. Ugh. Oh, it's so gross. Even through the wriggling leech sucking at my cheeks and forehead. I only focus on the hand. Finally, the tongue pulls away, leaving me look like I've just been frisked by a slug. I peer at the blurry lens of my glasses at Genzo, who looks similarly deprecated. If I never had to experience that again, it'll be too soon. But no sooner has Genzo's smart retort left his mouth, the giant watery pupil of our captor moves. It whirls backwards, pulling a full circle before returning to its previous position. Only this time it's sporting thousands of tiny lines. One line pops open, revealing a smaller eye, followed by another and another, popping open hundreds and countless dots to white atop the shuddering surface. They're the biggest line in them all, one that bisects the entire eye. Splits wide open with a giant roar. I've always wanted to be appetizing, but not like this! Genzo screams as the creature shrieks again. Behind us, the tip of the tongue is uncurled itself. And now the entire tongue is rising, tilting, forming one monstrous slide of doom that ends straight into that nightmare's mouth. I scramble into motion. But the higher the tongue tilts, the further I slip. All I can do is keep from tobogganing straight down the ever-widening maw. Piggy! Through my panic, I see Genzo brandishing what appears to be a screwdriver. Never leave the workshop without it. Genzo, is this really the time for... Before I can finish my question, he slams the sharp metal end into the quivering flesh of the tongue. The reaction is immediate. The beast howls so loud that I can feel my heart twisted into vertical nothingness. Then the tongue jerks, flails, writhes in pain. Grab onto me! I don't have to be told twice. I launch myself at Genzo and latch onto his waist. Never before have I held onto something so tight. I take my face into his belly, my breath hot against the swaths of exposed skin. Focus on Genzo. Focus on Genzo. I close my eyes, clinging as tightly as I can, try to block everything else out. Everything but the feeling of warmth beneath my arms and against my cheek. Above me, Genzo's clutching desperately at the handle of the screwdriver, jaw taut, muscles tight. Another roar from below. It's really getting angry now. The tongue bucks and thrashes. And somehow I keep my grip on Genzo. And somehow Genzo keeps his grip on the screwdriver. The roar morphs into a wail. At this moment I feel something on my leg. It clenches around my ankle with a snap, jerking me down a few good inches of Genzo's waist. I let out a squawk of surprise and tighten my grip. It's another tongue. This one's long and thin, but very much porous and pink. It's curled itself so tight around my leg that it's cutting off the circulation in my foot. This hasn't happened before. Happened before? How could it have happened before? I shake my head, shake my leg, but its grip remains strong. It gives another tug. Even as I squeeze my arms around Genzo, I can feel myself slip another inch downwards. Genzo! I see him readjust his grip on the screwdriver, his fingers shaking. Another tug. Harder this time. I sit down around Genzo's knees at this point. If this keeps up, it's gonna pull both of us down. Unless... If I let go, I'm probably gonna die. If I kick it off, I'm probably gonna die. I honestly kind of forgot what I did here. Crap. Honestly, sensible thing, try to kick it off. I genuinely don't remember what I did here. Try to kick it off. My gut instinct is to get the thing off me, no matter what it takes. I root my leg back and kick it all the momentum I can muster. I manage to liberate my foot off for 1 second. Then another tongue loops itself around my ankle. One snake-like motion gives a yank that sends me down to Genzo's shoes. Iggy! Genzo's eyes had gone wide with fear. I try to strengthen my grip, pull myself to his legs, but my arms are already starting to shake. That thing coiling even higher around my calf. Shit. All I could do to keep myself from sliding straight off. I clench my eyes, trying to bite down my tongue, keeping my focus on the arm. My arm lock I have around Genzo's legs. Another tug. It's got my whole leg now, giving it an even better grip. I throw a helpless glance at Genzo. Just hold on, Iggs! Another tug. His face goes white. Before I have a chance to wonder why, I noticed that my arms are no longer gripping his ankles. I've slipped! My tongue flips up towards the throat of pink flesh, and tongue below looms suddenly closer and closer. Then when a whip like officially a miniature tongue gripping my leg jerks me back and towards the open maw of like a frog catching a fly. It all happened so fast. 1 second I'm looking at the golden glow of the sky. The next world goes dark. Sun down on the spongy surface. The impact knocking my breath out of me right on my vision. I feel myself sliding. Panic wells up inside the chest, and I throw my arms out in an attempt to stop my descent. I see a glimmer of freedom up ahead. Past its jaws, it's growing smaller and fainter. I claw desperately, fingers grappling, feet digging. For a moment, I can actually start to move forward. Something shoots up behind me and lashes out to my arm. Another one of those tentacle-like tongues, followed by another and another. Rest on my leg, around my waist, around my neck. I retch, struggling to grip around my throat as I try to push forward. They're all over me now. Coming with a sticky goo that coats my eyes, mouth, and squishes my between my fingers. Down further and further. It's growing smaller, I can't do anything about it. Genzo! Mine gives one last feeble cry for help. Then falling back into the endless blackness. Wait, was letting go the right option? Floating, weightless. Water. I can hear water. Am I dead? The air feels heavy around me, heavy and moist. That smell, like charred fat. It's horrible. Curling up inside my nasal cavity and coating my brain. Move my hand to hear water splash. I'm in the water? I open my eyes, but I can't see anything. Not much, anyhow. It's dark and hot, and the water sizzling against my hair on my arm. Where am I? I try to move, and the ground jiggles beneath my feet as I glide through the water. Hello? I manage to eke. I open my eyes. My glasses are gone. Must have lost them at some point. I pull my fingers away and my eyes start to burn. I drift forward. Pick up the shape in front of me. Reach out, it's not what I expect. Reel back in surprise. Rabbit? Only it's not moving. Half submerged in water, ears drooping, head slumped. Half of its fur seems to be eaten away, the skin pink and molten beneath. It's almost like it's been dissolved. Take a step back, my heart suddenly thumping loud in my chest. Glance down at the water. Toss some in my hand. It's not water. My mouth tingles, singes, stings the longer I hold it. Acid. I throw another glance around to see more looming and floating shapes. Stomach acid. No. I throw my arms around, stumble forward, splashing and sloshing. No, 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 no. I need to get out. There's nowhere to go. Twin fleshy walls tower above me as all sides. All I can do is stare up at the hole far above me. More stings. The skin is tingling. And I feel the acid slowly chewing its way into the fabric of my pants and shirt, nibbling the smoked skin of my arms. It's agonizing and slow. Picking, nipping at tiny little bites. It's going to be a long, long time until I die. Alright, well, that wasn't the right option. I'm just gonna go back and change my decision. So I'll see you guys in the decision in a bit. I do something? But what? I could try to kick it off, but if the gurgling feeling in my stomach is anything to go by, it's not as a result. That's not going to have the result I what? Wait, what? Okay, well, I never saw this before. I don't really have much of a choice, do I? Let go instead. Oh, the choices change. Okay, so that was technically in the original and the alpha version, but I didn't think I'd see this in the full version. Okay, this is actually really cool. It's futile. There's nothing I can do. Nothing that'll get me out of this. I know it. But I can still save Genzo. He can make it out of this. Find bugs. Figure out what's going on. Fix all of this. But me? When have I ever been able to do anything? I let myself slip under a few inches down Genzo's legs, my grip loosening. I'm the one that started all this anyway. I was the one who had this open the door. I'm the one that let things get this bad between us. I squeezed my eyes shut. Then I took my leg pulls down to Genzo's feet. I'll use myself as a distraction. Make the thing devote all its attention to me. Then Genzo should be able to get away freely. I bite down on the lip and suck my breath. One more tug and then a hand on my shoulder jolts me back to reality. I shimmy gaze skyward to see Genzo staring down at me, his fingers clenched in the back of my shirt. Don't you fucking dare! I blink, eyes wide. Don't you try to give me that look. I know what you were thinking. But Genzo, we're getting out of this together. The crackle in his voice stops me in my tracks. And this time, when the tongue yanks down at my ankle, I squeeze myself against Genzo's calves, jaw clenched. Genzo's hand shoots back to the screwdriver to keep us from flying off. He grunts, looks from the screwdriver to the tongue to me. Fine. Can you reach my pocket? Not sure I want to try taking my hand off again. I can try. I wince, begin trying to pull myself back up. The eye must not like this because the tongue around my ankle gives its strongest tug yet, yanking me all the way down to his shoes. Shit. Genzo's eyes nearly bug out of their sockets. Just hold on, okay? He grits his teeth. I see him take a deep breath before grabbing his pocket. His hand comes back holding his lighter. How about a little tongue flambe? He says with a grin far too amused for our current situation. One flick, two flicks, he gets the flame dancing, then holds up against where the point of the screwdriver is piercing the pink flesh. It takes about 5 seconds for the eye to react. There's a roar from beneath us. Then the grip on the ankle finally loosens, pulls away as a larger tongue beneath us bucks and bobs. Another roar, pain this time. I can practically see the surface of the tongue writhing and curling away from the flame. Just when I wonder how much longer I can stand it, the muscles beneath us suddenly grow taut. In one whip-like movement, the tongue reels back, then chucks us forward. Genzo and I go flying like rocks like a slingshot. First a few feet over the ground, then slamming to the dirt and rolling 5, 10, 20 feet. We're finally unceremoniously slapping into the pebble-strewn path like a pair of wet fish. Okay, so I clearly did not remember what I was supposed to do. uh, thank, thankfully I did. Thankfully I did remember. Thankfully the game reminded me, I should say. Twin puddles of saliva turn the ground dark beneath us. My head's still spinning. I'm not even sure if I'm still conscious at first. I open first one eye, then the next. Then, with a groan that's half agony, half disgust, I push myself up to my palms. Thick, clammy strings of goo stretch between my skin and the puddle below. Genzo rolls over. His cheeks are painted with a glossy drool. Hey, Iggs. If I ever ask how much worse I can get again, please just stab me. Stab me right in the face, he says before hacking a gallon of saliva onto the ground. Oh, it's gonna get a lot worse from here, Genzo. Just wait. I rub my face until it's raw. I feel disgusting. Dirty. Like I'll never be clean again. Like I got an eye of saliva seeping into the crevices I didn't know I had. We're in the shoals of a river, up to our knees in the water and rinsing our hairs, our clothes, our mouths. Genzo's taking off his jacket off and is kneading it atop his knee like a washboard. His hair sticks up in errant wet tufts that shudder with each jerk of his shoulders. I watch him for a few seconds. If we weren't in a horrific wonderland currently fighting out for our lives just to survive, the sight might almost have been picturesque. Like the two of us were on a trip together, hiking or camping or something. The thought of Genzo trying to pitch a 10 nearly summons a laugh from my lungs. Yeah, just the two of us. That'd be nice. I blink. Of course that'd be nice. Anything besides what we're currently doing would be nice right about now. Genzo sees me looking and shoots me a wave, nearly dropping his jacket back into the water in the process. I wait back, feeling somewhat awkward, then begins limping back over the tall grass. This whole thing has got my head all all weird. So, Genzo clasps his hands together once he makes it back to the bank. Now that we've almost died about 50 times, are we allowed to go back? He shrugs his jacket back on before pulling his cap over his curls. Not that I don't share your sentiment, but we've literally done nothing. We haven't even found anyone else yet. I was afraid you'd say something like that. Nevertheless, I, Genzo Ichihara, shall stay by your side as your loyal and trusted knight. Oh, since when did you get all so gallant? Last I checked, it was you who always took off at the first sight of getting caught, whenever we were doing something we weren't supposed to. He promptly slaps my shoulder. Since you lost fuck all reason and have been doing nothing but nearly getting us killed, you idiot. Somebody needs to be the brains in this outfit. And apparently it's not going to be Mr. Hotshot Programmer over here. Hey, He has a point, to be honest. My head's been a little all over the place. And another thing, Genzo whirls back around, this time a finger pointing right at my face. Any more of that noble sacrifice shit out of you, and I'll off you myself. Are you really that anxious to throw your life away? Think a little more highly of yourself, would you? I stand there in silence. I don't know what to say. Genzo huffs and crosses his arms across his chest, clearly peeved. Finally, sorry. I bring my hand up to my curls, scratch my scalp, then turn my gaze towards the ground. Guess I wasn't really, thinking. Genzo's face softens, hardens, then softens again. Yeah. Just don't do it again, yeah? You're, important to a lot of people. He lets his arms fall, then crosses them again. Anyway, now what? We're no closer to finding anyone than we were before becoming Wonderland's most wanted. I run a hand through my damp ringlets in my hair and peer out across the landscape. I don't. But before I can finish, the flash of movement catches my eye. I turn my attention towards the far bank, where river twists around and forms what looks like a small beach. A dock has been erected on the sand, and a boat slowly gliding its way over from the opposite direction. Genzo follows my gaze. He narrows his eyes. That's freakishly fortuitous. He's not wrong, but at the same time, no, I remember this. The sight of the miniature white riverboat is enough to bring fuzzy, shifting images bubbling on the surface of my brain. Yeah, I remember when I used to have wet dreams every night during my teenage years, but you don't see me anxious to return to that, do ya? I ignore him. Instead, take a step forward towards the dock. Iggy. And then I'm off, jogging towards the boat in the river beyond. Fuck. Gezo clutches at his head and starts after me. Can't you listen to your logically sound knight for a change? I get to the wind steps of the dock just as the boat comes to a halt on the other end of the pier. Jesus! Genzo huffs behind me as he runs to catch up. To the left of the dock is a very cheery red and white sign that reads Kitty Cruise on it. Past that, I see a river fork with the right channel leading back along the direction we just come, and the left leading deeper into the unknown. And I point towards the boat like some sort of outright overwrought tour guide. We can take this. Better than walking, that's for sure. Iggs, are you even listening to the words coming out of your mouth? And what does a logically sound knight suggest? Going back for a picnic with a giant man-eating eyeball? I jerk a thumb in the direction we just came from. That's Genzo glances from me to the boat, then back to me. Come on, it'll be fine. Don't you remember riding this thing? You used to love it. I urge as I start the steps. Iggy. Genzo follows, but not too happily. I just have a weird feeling, is all. Almost like. Except the sentence is cut off as he runs straight into my back with a pillowy oof. A jovial, high pitched flower stops me in my tracks. We both just stand there for a moment, glancing at each other. Come and ride the kitty cruise and sail away for days. Adventure like you never had at the end of your malaise. Someone's singing? I stepped towards the railing, leaning over to peek at the ground below. It's a flower. Brilliant white petals adorn the oversized head, its glossy green leaves shimmy with its dance-like movements. Genzo steps in the railing next to me, blinking curiously. That's different. The flower twists atop its roots, as though looking up at us. Though valiance is made to claws its yearning lend, a, ma- a manicured knight meets naught but a gruesome end. I raise a brow. What's that supposed to mean? Means this cheeky flower's about to get its roots flayed, that's what. Genzo starts climbing up and over the railing. The flower brings its leaves out to its chalky yellow Genosium. Ugh, I can't read. As though slapping his hands in his cheeks in fright, recoils at Genzo's approach. This gentle flower, locked in its earthen cage, warrants not the fruits of your misplaced rage. Genzo snorts. I cannot but laugh. It's just a flower again. No need to get so worked up. Says the one not getting ridiculed by it. Just ignore it. Come on. Genzo huffs but calms. He readjusts his cap on his head with a clever twist. Nods once at the flower, then steps back towards the stairs. Flower waggles its leaves, this time seemingly turning its attention to me. Afraid to reach out, afraid to try. But if fear rules your life, life will pass you by. I stop. Blink. Staring on the flower. The word's striking something in me. My fingers curl tight around the wooded railing. Fear, huh? A chew knees on my cheek. What do you want, Iggy? A sudden sensation on my back makes a jump, snapping at me out of my reverie. I flip my head back to see Genzo eyeing me in concern. Hey, you okay there? Got all quiet all of a sudden. He pulls his hand back. I just stared at him for a moment. My chest feels funny, tight and floaty at the same time. Like I'm standing at the top of the tall cliff, wondering if I should jump. I finally turn away, running my hand across my clammy forehead. I'm fine. Just a flower, ain't it? Isn't that what you just told me? Ballsy things just spouting nonsense anyway. Yeah, you're right. I concede sheepishly. Guess I would be too if I had to stay in one spot all day. I finished with a laugh. You got that right. I'd be going out of my mind. Come on, let's get onto the boat. We start up the steps, wood creaking beneath our shoes. The boat is still anchored at the end of the dock, almost as though waiting for us. It bows up and down gently in the current. See, it looks fine. I toss a hand towards it. Genzo doesn't look quite convinced. He peers down at it, hand on its hips, then brings a hand out towards its chin, chewing on its finger. I can hear him mumbling beneath his breath. He starts pacing back and forth between the boat's bow and stern, almost though expecting it for faults. Does it have your seal of approval? I guess it looks fine. I don't know, Wiggs. I just got this really weird feeling about it. We'll just be extra alert then, I say before promptly stepping forward and into the boat. Gizzo starts to half reaches out as though wanting to help, then just as quickly pulls back. He waits for me to sit down on one of those wooden benches before clambering in after me. For a moment I worried that I might sink beneath our combined weight. We're quite a bit larger than we used to be last time we rode, but ultimately it holds true. Is there something we need to do to get started? Genzo takes a seat across from me and glances around. I don't remember. Classic. Fortunately, we're not left in the dark for too long. Only a few seconds, the water wheel back started chugging to life. With a shudder, the boat begins to glide across the water. The river is calm, smooth. The boat cuts through the water like butter, slowly but steadily. Okay, well, I think that was actually a good time for us to leave this video here for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!